So here I am in the car, and I had just uploaded that video I did a teaching on, and it's still hard talking about mom and not trying to hold back the tears. I've I've been clearing the place out slowly, but I'm at the end. But I see articles of hers, and I grab them, and I'm like, I know when this was. I remember the times that this article represented, items of hers. And then I'm faced with just how quickly things have happened. And it's the focus. If I think about mom, then I'm gonna bawl. But I know she's in a better place. I know she's happy. I know God told me that, you know, she's whole now and stuff like that. But 47 years of having her in my life and then not having her anymore. And I see this picture. I found it. I see that picture of her holding the baby, and this was like 2008, and she just had the best smile. She had such a care for people. She always went out of her way to help. So much God has told me, you know, after her passing. And he said, you know, she's happy now. She's whole. She has her mom. She has her family up there. And he's going to use her while she's up there to help me. He told me things will start happening. And he said that this is a new season. He said that she was tired of her earthly existence and he saw her heart. I remember many times she said, I'm sick of living. I'm sick of being here. She was corrected many times, but, God saw that. And out of his mercy, he wanted her. And it wasn't an anger kind of thing. It was a compassion thing. He knew that she was tired. And I remember the day before, I'm out delivering. I'm checking up on her. I'm seeing how she is. And she writes me, she says, I'm giving up. And she had a hard time putting words out at the end, and this is the hardest thing about life. there were times that she annoyed me to no end. She would ask nagging questions, and but I know she did so out of concern. She cared about me. And I remember she she said that when I was facing a difficult time a couple of years ago and I had nowhere to go, you know, she was like, "I'll be damned if I'm going to have you live on the street. You're going to stay with me. I don't care if I get in trouble." That was her heart. She cared about me. And anybody that's watching this, I'm sorry. I appreciate you taking the time, to stay with me if you're still watching this. But this is it's not a teaching or anything. It's just a progress video. But I just trying to work my way through this. I was told that the hurt will soften after a while. But I'm just dealing with how quickly things have happened. It was like yesterday. I was with her in the emergency room because the doctor said that she had stage 4 cancer. So we were sitting in that emergency room for hours until she got into her room. And then she had a bunch of tests done. And I remember she was laying there, and I didn't want to leave. I was afraid of leaving. I didn't, making sure that she had everything she needed before I left. And she didn't get rest. They kept coming in and out of the hospital room, and she didn't get rest until she got to her house. But it was so hard for her at the end. It was hard for her to speak what she needed to speak. She would try to get a thought, and she would try to say what she was thinking, and she had a hard time, and she gave up. Remember that at the beginning, she had the hardest time trying to speak. So I would pray over her, I'd declare healing over her, and she felt better, and she started speaking more clearly. We had this brother and sister that come over, older couple, and we all prayed over her, and she started speaking better. But she was walking then. And then she declined so quickly. She still walked at the end, but I didn't state this in that update video about, when she passed, but she got to the bathroom. I helped her down, and she was panting, and she didn't sit on the toilet right, but I ended up getting her up again, and I was leading her into her room. She wanted to lay in the bed, so I got her so far, and she fell down on her knee, and I had the hardest time trying to lift her up onto the bed, and I got her on her back, and she was just panting. She didn't have the strength. It's hard. I'm focused on what has transpired. I'm focused on just, I felt like I didn't have enough time to breathe through this. But I'm grateful to God that I got to tell her I loved her. To say what was most important. Not many people get that. I wish there was more I could have done. Especially when her last moments and she was panting. I was sitting on the other bed. I wasn't holding her hand the entire time. And I kicked myself for not at least putting a chair up and sitting next to her and holding her hand. I didn't do that. I didn't expect her to go that quickly. I wasn't prepared at all. Anyways, this is what I'm dealing with now. And just someone told me time will soften the pain. But I need to be happy for her. I can't think about myself and how much I miss her. Because I had 47 years with her, and she only had 13 years with her mother. She needed her mother. It was time for her and her mother to be reunited. She needed her father. She needed her grandmother. She needed her aunts, cousins that passed on. Who knows? And I firmly believe that, if we're born in this world and we haven't met any family members, and a family member dies, I feel like our hearts are not whole. When those family members have been taken away, I believe that gradually, we don't have a full heart, if you know what I mean. Because I know Jesus told me that when she got to heaven, her heart became whole. And so what he told me is that when I get to heaven, my heart will be whole. Because I'll meet my grandmother, grandfather, great grandmother, all those people that I've never met. So many others that passed on. A dear uncle of mine that I loved so much that really impacted me in my life. I wasn't there at his passing, but I walked in the room and I saw him, that he already died. And I just sat there looking at him crying. Then another uncle that I was so very close to. But I'm taking it day by day. I'm almost done with our apartment. And I'll see what God has for me then. There's so much that I got to do. I've been trying to apply, for different jobs. I've applied for an Amazon delivery job and I still haven't heard from it. And I heard that it takes time. But I feel like I can't move anywhere without having a job in place. Maybe it's a personal issue, but I just feel like if I was to ever be with anybody, if they'd take me in, I feel like I need to be on this constantly in order to have something. I know I have the Uber job to rely on to pay my bills, but I don't want to do Uber forever. I want to do what God wants me to do. I don't want to be stuck in the world system. I don't want to follow mammon. I want to follow what God wants. I want to be able to teach and to write like I'm supposed to. I want to lead the church to that place of depending on God fully. For them to be aware of what they're following and to stop following it. But this is the update, how I'm doing. I'm still bawling to this day. I see pictures of her. I've seen a video that I came across of my mother with my son, and he's laying on her and she's reading a story to him, and I hear her voice. The other night I was sleeping on the couch because that's where I sleep, and I swear I heard her voice calling my name. And the strangest thing was, I walked into her place one night. It was after she passed, and I saw her plant lights on, and I'm like, I didn't turn them on. So I really don't know what biblically, things like that happen, but it could be very well my mother telling me that she loves me. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch. I will update you, when I let you know what's going on. And I appreciate you taking the time to sit through this and by crying and stuff, but it's really appreciated. But if I have anything teaching wise, I will definitely upload it. And I pray that you enjoy the previous video. So thank you for taking the time to watch.